Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel, Planning with Bree. I'm Bree, and today I'm going to be setting up my August bullet journal. So, first of all, I'm going to start out by saying I could not figure out what I wanted to do for August. I know I probably have said this a few times. I know for a fact I said it for July or June, and I don't know, August was no different. So, I am trying to stay within the color scheme that I started this bullet journal with, which is inspired by the cover of this journal. And if you have not seen that setup video where I rave about how much I love this journal, I will put it in the top, in the link, in the cards, wherever it goes, in the description, all of that. So I am drawing out a house that is inspired by my grandmother's house. So I am reading this book called Memphis, and I am loving it. It's all about family and these women in a generation. So it starts with the granddaughter and it goes through different perspectives, different time periods as you get a look into why these women decided to move back to their home, their childhood home in Memphis. And it got me to thinking about my grandmother's house because that's where I would spend the summers sometimes. I would go over there for more than just the summer, but I really remember spending some time over there during the summer. School is out, you can stay and spend the night as many nights as you want to. It's just something about being in grandma's house for longer than just a few nights. I don't know. I'm really inspired by it. So I will probably do a book review on the book Memphis because I'm going to be putting a spread in this journal for that book because, like I said, I'm really enjoying it, and hopefully I'm going to be reading 2 more books before the end of this month. Hopefully I will. So if I do, I will do a full review on it. So I don't want to give too much away, but that is basically the premise. This woman packs up her 2 daughters and moved back to the home that she was raised in, which is in Memphis, Tennessee. So I am drawing this out. I am trying to draw a porch. Now, I don't know if you can tell by this video or not, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I knew I wanted to draw a porch. I knew I wanted the brick to be red, obviously, because the brick on my grandmother's house is red. But there were certain things that I couldn't figure out how to draw, like the wiring on the screen door. I had to look up a picture on how to draw it, and it still took me a very long time to get the detailing correct. But it is very, very reminiscent of the door that my grandmother has, as well as these wire poles that I draw. You can see it a lot better in person, but right in front of that gray chair, you can see it a lot better. So, that page is pretty self-explanatory, but what I'm doing right now is drawing a record player. Or I've drawn a record player, and now I'm drawing music notes from the record player all the way to my quote page. One thing I can say about my grandparents, my grandma and my granddaddy, they always had music playing. The door was always wide open. The screen door was shut, of course, but that door was wide open, and my granddad would have his record player playing, okay? And my grandmother would be sitting on the porch smoking a cigarette when I was younger. She doesn't smoke anymore, but when I was younger, she'd just be sitting out there smoking her cigarette, just enjoying the day. So that's really why I wanted to draw this scene. So I'm going to continue that all the way through my theme. I'm going to be drawing music notes, this wraparound. Is this called a stanza? No, that's a poem. What is the thing called that music notes are written on? Okay, so I did have to look it up, and it is called a staff. I'm sure I learned that at some point in my life, but since I don't play music, I don't read music, I had forgotten what it was called. So sorry. I am going to be drawing these wavy staffs across my page with various music notes all over them. in all of my spreads. So right here, I'm trying to write out a quote and it didn't go well. So I decided to cover it up and do a collage. I did not plan to do a collage. I actually had absolutely no plan for this page outside of what you saw me draw. So after I messed up the word Memphis, I stared at this page for probably an hour and I had no idea what I was going to do with it, but I think it came together pretty good. So the quote that I'm using is, "There was always music in Memphis." And that is so true, especially talking about my grandparents' house. I love that quote and I think it's so fitting for the theme. I am going to outline this page and then I'm going to add one more little detail to the top and then we're on to the next page. So this next page is going to be my positive affirmations page. And this time I wanted to do some hibiscus flowers because in the book they do talk about hibiscus flowers and hummingbirds. So I wanted to draw those out as an ode to the book. So I am doing this shading technique with the Crayolas. If you draw with Crayolas, you probably know what I'm doing, but I basically am laying down the darkest color first, and then I use a lighter color to go over the dark color and blend it as best as you can with Crayola markers. And that happens by like when I go over the darker color, it will bleed basically, and then I'm able to carry that dark color out a little more. So I am really excited about how these flowers turned out. They're very, very cute, and I'm excited about them because, like I said, I did not really know what I was going to do, so I didn't have time to practice how these flowers were going to look. And when they were done, I was very, very excited. So on this next page, I am drawing inspiration from this picture I found with these hummingbirds around some hibiscus flowers. I had to look up what they were because I kept seeing hummingbirds with these red flowers. And I thought to myself, I thought it was hibiscus because hibiscus were in my last setup for July, and I'll leave that linked below as well. But it's very ironic that I ended up drawing hibiscus again, and this time I decided to go not a new route but a little bit different. So the page that I just finished was my mood tracker, and I just drew some blank flowers all around the page with that hummingbird, and I am going to color in each flower based on my mood. I did leave the mood tracker blank because I always mess it up when I try to film it. So I didn't try to film it this time, but the moods are generally the same. So on this page, I'm doing my habit tracker and I decided to do a one-line drawing. And I am so excited to say that I drew this drawing without looking at a picture and without picking my pencil up. I actually drew it in one line, basically is what I'm saying. And I was so excited about that. Of course, when I record, you can't tell because I had to pick my pencil up or, pick my marker up, and it just did not look like I did it in one line, but I did. I absolutely did. So this next page I'm about to draw is my playlist, and I have absolutely never drawn a playlist before, but I thought it was fitting for this theme. So right now I'm just drawing some album covers, and I thought about printing out the albums. I really did, but to be honest, y'all, at this point it is probably about 1 o'clock in the morning when I'm drawing this. And again, like I said, I didn't really have a plan for these pages before I started, and I just didn't feel like printing anything out that late, so I just went with the flow. I'm going to draw some albums just inside the cover halfway, laying outside of the cover, just in various different placements. to make the spread a little bit more interesting. Down at the bottom, I do have a record player, and I did have to look up what this was called. I'll put it in the video if I remember, but I remember they were talking about it in one of the scenes in the book Memphis, and I was thinking that sounds like a record player, and it was. But they were talking specifically about the one that looks like the picture I'm going to draw in the bottom right hand corner. So I am going to fill this in. Now, this drawing took way longer than it should have. For some reason, I think my eyes were crossing or something, and I could not draw a box. I don't know what it was. That box was giving me trouble. This microphone right here didn't give me as much trouble as the box. You would think it would, but no, not Brie. So when I get done, I'm going to write playlist at the top of this page. And then I am going to draw some music notes coming out of the microphone at the top of the record player. So to be honest, I haven't seen a record player like this in real life. If I have, then I forgot, but we didn't own one like this. It was more like the one that looks like an open box, you know what I mean? So I had to look up a picture on how to draw this, and I like how it looks. The picture that I saw was pink, so I decided to color this one pink, even though it's not in my color scheme for this month. I wanted it to be pink. So that is it for this page. After I do some music notes in gold and after I doodle some in, then that will be it for this page. So if you've made it this far, go ahead and leave me a comment with some music notes and tell me what is your favorite summer song right now. The playlist I have right now is a lot of J. Cole, some SZA, and some Jasmine Sullivan. That's what I've been grooving to for the past couple of weeks. So this is the final flip through. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.